Hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Mark Buck. I am the Vice President of Marketing and Admissions with EC Council University, and I'm so excited to have all of you here today. And I know the reason you're here today is because you want to learn about how you can maximize your transfer options with EC Council University. So whether you're coming to explore EC Council University in pursuing a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, maybe a graduate certificate, or maybe and possibly just another certification, EC Council University can help you achieve those goals. And what we're going to talk about today is ways that you can let your prior education and your training keep paying you back. And as we get into today's information, I think you'll be excited to see that EC Council University has really gone to great extents and great efforts to recognize your previous education and training and trying to let you apply that. About EC Council University and who we are. So we are actually the world's only dedicated university to cybersecurity. And we're dedicated to cybersecurity because we want to create the next generation and enhance the current generation of cybersecurity professionals. I think in the video you saw our founder, Jay Bavisi, who actually was one of the pioneers and the original architects of certified ethical hacking. And early in our development, our inception, Jay was actually summoned by the FBI, the Department of Defense, to actually help the U.S. government train their employees on cybersecurity, and we've continued to build that. And I think one of the purpose of today's conversation, again, is whether you've earned and you're already working in cybersecurity, you've earned previous certifications, or whether you're simply looking to get into cybersecurity and you have previous college credit. What is the best way to utilize that prior education and that prior training to continue advancing your education? So today we'll talk a little bit, we've talked a little bit about who EC Council University is. We'll talk about who the university serves. We're going to talk about some of the industries, and some of them I think will surprise you, of those industries that are in need and what the employment outlook looks like. You might be asking yourself and contemplating, should I earn a degree? If so, why should I earn a degree? Then we're going to talk about the transferring of credits, certification, courses, etc. So let's go ahead and let's jump in. In the video, we mentioned we are, first of all, we're a fully online university, and we're accredited by DEAC, the Distance Education Accreditation or Accrediting Commission. They are the premier accrediting body for online colleges and universities in the world. So we're very, very proud to have that accreditation. Then we're also recognized by the National Council for State Authorization Reciprocity Agreements. We're also accredited by CHIA, and we're recognized by the American Council on Education, or ACE. So why is cybersecurity so hot right now, right? Why are positions in such great demand? Well, I'll tell you, the employment outlook, by 2020, cybersecurity jobs actually grew by 38%. Compared to 18% for all other IT jobs. So if you took all other IT jobs, put them in a basket, those only grew by 18%, whereas cybersecurity grew by 38%. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of individuals that are employed within the cybersecurity sector is going to grow by 31% between what was then 2019 and 2029. 31%. And that rate exceeds the average for all other occupations. So if you took all the other occupations, IT related and non-IT related, and you put them together, that growth rate of 31% exceeds all of those other occupations. So again, why is cybersecurity so hot? Well, that's because cybercrime is on the rise. So what is cybercrime? Where does it happen and how does it happen? You might be employed with a company that requires you to go through and take specific cybersecurity training. Most organizations train their employees now on a concept called phishing. And what phishing is, it's where you might get an email or a text from somebody that maybe it's your boss saying, hey, I lost your cell phone number. Can you give it back to me? Or, hey, can you take a look at this document? And the bait is, it looks exactly like it's coming from somebody you know. And part of the training is how to identify some of those indicators that are warning signs, red flags that, this might not be a valid email. But anyway, when colleagues or employees open those attachments or those emails up, you're giving access to the cyber criminals into your database. You hear about ransomware strategies, right? Cyber criminals that have the ability to get access to companies' data and information and then hold it ransom and tell an organization, we're going to do some pretty nasty things with this information unless you pay us. Cryptojacking, right? The whole concept of cryptocurrency. The banking and the finance industry is one of the most targeted industries for cyber criminals. Well, now with the inflection of cryptocurrency, cryptojacking is another area. Physical attacks, cyber criminals actually having the ability to physically get into your computer. State-sponsored and government agency attacks. Government agencies, state agencies are some of the most frequented targets for cyber criminals, right? The IoT and innovation that's happening within the internet. Anytime there's an innovation, there's always going to be an influx of cybercrime. If you've gone to an emergency room, a hospital, or a doctor, right now, the way that medical facilities take your information, they take it on laptops, they take it on iPads, right? No longer are they taking that handwritten form and the paper files and the file cabinets. Those have all gone away. So access to medical records, has created a situation where the healthcare industry is a highly targeted industry now. Third parties, when the pandemic hit, vendors, contractors, manufacturers, individuals that typically did a lot of business face-to-face were forced to do business virtually and electronically. Well, what did that do for the cyber criminals? It opened up a whole nother arena for cyber criminals to get in there and to have access to data and information. Most people don't know that, cyber criminals can actually overtake a vehicle and shut an individual vehicle down on the road or on the highway. So the creation of the connected cars and semi-autonomous vehicles have put the automotive manufacturers at risk. And then social engineering, just social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, any type of social media that's out there, it's just another avenue for cyber criminals to have access. So based on this, what are the trends? What are the threats? Well, obviously, cybersecurity needs to continue to be a priority for organizations. I had mentioned that advancement in technology and innovation creates this increased risk. Anytime there's an advancement in technology, there's some new innovation. Along with that comes an increased level of risk, right? Artificial intelligence. Systems. Companies now hire ethical hackers. Some of them are actually hiring former criminals, which they were criminals and they were prosecuted because they were unethical hackers. Well, now companies are hiring them to find those vulnerabilities in their organization's networks, in their database, and help that organization become stronger. And the digital landscape has changed, right? The way we do business. I don't think a day goes by on the weekend where I don't see an Amazon truck on my street, 8 to 10 times a day. No, fewer people are going into stores to do their holiday shopping, to buy their essentials. They're purchasing things digitally now and electronically, and that creates a whole nother opportunity for cyber criminals. When we take a look globally at what COVID did and what the pandemic did, it really required organizations to allow employees to work remotely. Oh, when an employee's working remotely, now all of a sudden there are all these new nuances to working electronically, utilization of a laptop, access into a company's server, all of those things. So that remote work has created a unique set of threats and trends. This is one of the things that really, really, really struck a chord with me that I found so interesting. So cybercrime, right? Cybercrime inflicts financial damages. And they said globally that in 2021, cybercrime inflicted approximately $6 trillion in damages in 2021. That is expected to grow 15% per year. And by 2025, it's expected to reach and actually exceed $10.5 trillion. $10.5 trillion. So what does that equate to try to keep it in some perspective? First of all, those financial damages that are inflicted and the cost of those damages, they have an impact on economic wealth. This alone from cybercrime is now representing the greatest transfer of economic wealth in history, the greatest movement of financial resources to repair these damages that cybercrime has inflicted, right? It actually is larger than all of the natural disasters combined. So think about that. If you take a look at all of the natural disasters that occur within a year globally and worldwide, and you put those all together, cybercrime exceeds that. And one thing that's even scarier is if you took a look at the entire global illegal drug trade and combined that, cybercrime is actually more profitable. So when we think of cyber criminals, we think maybe a young teenager, young adult, somebody on their computer trying to get access to somebody's credit card information. We've talked about some of the areas where cybercrime happens that's actually not representative of the severity of cybercrime and the impact that it's having. So again, cybercrime right now is more profitable than all of the major illegal drug trades combined. And when you add that up, what does that equate to? It's the destruction of data, stolen money, lost productivity, personal identity, embezzlement, fraud, forensic, the need for forensic investigation, the need for restoration of compromised data. This all has a financial impact in society, and ultimately we all feel the impact of that those financial damages. So what are the industries that are in need of cybersecurity? And what's interesting is I took a look at this list, and I went on job sites such as Indeed, such as ZipRecruiter, and it was so accurate, because all the jobs that are posting for the need in cybersecurity, a significant number of those are in these areas. Obviously, banking and financial institutions. Why? That's where the money is. Healthcare. We talked about the ability for somebody to get into a hospital or a healthcare organization and get that patient data, but that insurance information, that insurance data, sell that insurance information on the black market, right? E-commerce, again, the way we do business, Amazon, manufacturing. What a lot of people don't realize is, when COVID hit, a lot of industries that did business face-to-face, vendors, manufacturing, right? They now were required to do their business and figure out how to do their business virtually and electronically. So the manufacturing industry is an area. Automotive, we just talked about the fact that, if somebody's smart enough, they can break into a specific make, model of vehicle and shut them down on the road. Hospitality, right? Hotels, resorts, airline, any restaurants, anywhere where there's a transfer of data, where there's a transfer or a means of financial assistance. I was with an institution This is going back 5 or 6 years ago, and we had a convention, and the hotel that we stayed at, out of 1,000 people, 800 people had their data and their credit card information compromised. So that means this is 6 years ago. Somebody was able to get into that hotel's database, access information, social security numbers, credit card numbers, personal information for 800 customers at that hotel. The state, federal, local, and government agencies. There are groups of cyber criminals that are out there that have very, 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 very evil intentions. And they've targeted state, federal, local government agencies to try to hack into their systems, to try to corrupt their systems, to break down their defense systems. And I think one of the things that you saw in that video is, right, our CEO and our founder, Jay Bavisi, you know, the way EC Council and EC Council University evolved was he was summoned after 9/11 by the FBI and the Department of Defense to help create a training for government agencies and employees of government agencies, very vulnerable. In the U.S. last year, 2 major universities in the U.S. actually had their data and information compromised, and the cyber criminals tried to hold those universities hostage, and they demanded millions of dollars in order to get that information back. The airline industry. I think one of the misconceptions is that airline industries are the target for cyber criminals to get in, to break down their reservation system, you know, to delay flights, to get customer information. I'm going to go back to the example I spoke of. Very tragic day worldwide when 9/11 took place in 2001. As a result of that day, those tragic events took place because terrorists were able to take control of airliners and do unspeakable acts, but they physically did that, right? There is a concern that could cyber terrorism ultimately one day be able to hijack and take over an airliner electronically? And that's one of the things our government agencies are trying to protect and prepare for. And how do they do that? They do that through cybersecurity. And then mobile communication, right? I think we all use these. We probably live and die by utilizing these. Anything that has to do with the cell phone or mobile communication. These are all industries that are in great need of cybersecurity professionals. These are just some titles. So whether you're working in the industry, whether you're looking to enter the industry, you know, when you go out and you look on some of the job sites, these are the job titles that you're going to see. And I'm not going to go through every one of them, but security specialist, incident responder, vulnerability assessor, cryptographer, security manager. Maybe you're in the industry and you're looking to advance into leadership, CISO, security auditor, forensic experts, penetration testers. And these are just some average salaries for some of these positions. I would really encourage you to go onto these job sites. Look at the companies that are hiring cybersecurity professionals. Look at these job titles. Look at these salaries. And that will give you a good indication of the need and the significant need in the area of cybersecurity. When somebody asks me, you know, I've heard of EC Council University, I've heard of EC Council, but who really are you? I tell people, you know, we are the world's dedicated university when it comes to cybersecurity. But you know what? Don't listen to me. Listen to our alumni. And I'm going to encourage you, if you think EC Council University is that next step in your career, go online, listen to some of our alumni. Look at what some of our alumni have to say. Look at the employment statistics. One of the things that makes EC Council University special and different are a few things. Number one, we embed our certifications right into the coursework. And if you come to the table and you have those certifications, you get to waive out of those. But we bring real world scenarios into our iLabs, so individuals go out and they're prepared to start doing a job once they're hired and they're in there. So I want to encourage you, go listen to what our alumni have to say. Our faculty really, it's one of our greatest levels of our pride and joy. We pride ourselves on hiring adjunct faculty, individuals that are working in the industry, individuals who are working in companies, individuals who are leading teams, leading organizations. Why? Because what they do is they bring that experience and not just into the classroom, but into the labs. So that when you're a student at EC Council University and you're in your labs, you're working on real world scenarios. So that when you're interviewing or you're interviewing either with a current employer for a promotion or you're interviewing with a potential employer, you're going to be able to have a portfolio of all the projects that you've worked on because of those iLabs and those hands-on experience. We couldn't accomplish that unless we were bringing real world professionals in. So just as I encourage you to go look at our alumni, go take a look at the credentials of our faculty and see who they are and what they bring to the table. So some of you might be asking, I'm already working in the industry. I've got a certification. Why? Why should I even contemplate earning a degree? Well, there's a couple of things. Number one, I know here in the US, the average age of somebody being able to retire or the ability to retire has increased from 62 to 68. They actually expect that over the next couple of years, they may actually increase to 71. So think about it. If you know you're going to be working and you're the average individual, you're going to be working until you're 68, maybe 70, 71 years old. Ask yourself this question. Where am I at right now? How many more years am I going to be working in the industry that I'm either in or I'm choosing to go in? Many students that I talk to say, Mark, I'm going to be working in this industry for the next 30 years, 40 years. What does that mean? Number one, pick an industry that's going to be viable. Pick an industry that's going to have a future. Number two, make sure you're doing something that you like. Okay, obviously. But number three, make sure that you're always upskilling and gaining those credentials that will allow you to remain competitive in the workforce over the next 20, 30, possibly 40 years, right? So according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, most cybersecurity professionals start with a bachelor's degree, okay? So if you're an individual and you're working in the industry and you don't have that bachelor's degree yet, but maybe you've got one or a couple of certifications, congratulations. You've been able to actually gain entry into the industry and into the cybersecurity workforce without having that degree. But you know what? Employers now are requiring individuals that do not have that degree to go back and get that bachelor's degree if they want to remain with a part of that organization, right? And then also a report by Burning Glass Technologies indicated that 88% of the postings for cybersecurity roles out there require a bachelor's degree or higher. So if you take my advice and you go on to Indeed or you go on to ZipRecruiter, you'll be able to go back to some of those job titles. I would encourage you to look at the companies that are hiring and go ahead and look and see what the requirements are for those. So again, if you're fortunate enough to be working in the industry without a minimum of a bachelor's degree, congratulations. But the day's going to come where your employer is going to expect that from you. And again, if you know that you're going to be working in this industry, 20, 30, 40% or 20, 30, 40 years from now, getting those credentials early on will help prepare you. What are the benefits of earning a degree, right? So I might have certifications, I've got a good job. Why earn a degree? What's the benefit? Well, as I just said, more and more employers, they're requiring them. And they're requiring them at the entry-level positions. And in many cases, they're requiring their employees who don't have that degree to go back and earn them. The other area, it qualifies you for more advanced positions, okay? So if you want a promotion, you want to lead a team, right? You want to manage a group of employees and lead a team. They're preparing you for those advanced positions. They're preparing you for leadership positions, right? Having a degree right now is almost mandatory if you're going to lead a team, a task force. You're going to move into management, right? It provides you increased salary potential. The old saying, the more you earn, the more you'll earn. Well, there's some truth to that. So the more you upskill yourself, credential yourself, you enable yourself with degrees, that salary potential, along with that career advancement opportunities are going to be there. You know, and just naturally, when you advance within your career and you move up and you advance within your career, you're going to have wider networking opportunities. The other thing, and this is what we hear directly from employers, and one of the reasons they want their employees to go back and get those degrees, it gives them a more well-rounded education. First of all, they're able to take theory and convert theory into application, but rather than just getting a kit at home, reading a book, and earning a certification, by earning a degree and taking courses from an accredited university, they're actually developing a deeper knowledge in cybersecurity. Again, we're bringing those real-world experiences into the classroom. We're talking about the latest trends and threats, all things that you don't learn from simply gaining a kit and earning a certification. We talked about employment opportunities. This is critical. When we talk to employers and we ask them, what are, Scott, some of the skill sets, some of the innate skill sets and competencies you're looking for in an employee? They're looking for somebody that has critical thinking skills. And you don't develop those by reading a book and taking a test. You develop those by interacting with a network of fellow students, by participating in student forums, participating in iLabs that are forcing you to develop and utilize those critical thinking skills as you develop them and you work on those real world scenarios. And then again, it prepares you for the future. So how can EC Council University help you? I think one of the things that I'm proud of, and I tell people when I try to describe the mission that EC Council University has, our goal is to meet every student at the point that they're at in their career pathway and their education pathway, okay? So we offer a variety of opportunities for students. So we offer a bachelor's of science in cybersecurity, all right? And it's a degree completion program. It's designed for anyone who has an associate's degree or the equivalency of 2 years of college that they want to go on and they want to complete a bachelor's, all right? Maybe you already have a bachelor's and you're looking to get a master's degree. We offer a master's of science in cybersecurity. The two, and I probably showing my age, but the two neat things about our bachelor's and our master's programs are, if you come with an associate's from a 2-year school that's non-IT related, nothing in computer science, our bachelor's program is still the place for you because we embed those cybersecurity certifications into the program. We're seeing a lot of students coming from non-IT backgrounds trying to enter into the cybersecurity industry and field. I'm going to go back to some of those industries that we talked about. Banking in the finance industry. We see students that are getting an associate's in accounting or finance that don't want to get a bachelor's in accounting and finance. They want to get a bachelor's in cybersecurity so that when they graduate, they have an associate's in accounting or finance, they have a bachelor's in cybersecurity, and they're walking away with 5 industry in-demand certifications. It makes them extremely marketable. In a similar fashion, on the master's side, the Master's of Science in Cybersecurity, if you have a bachelor's in a non-IT or computer-related field, That's okay. Maybe you have a bachelor's in accounting or finance. That's okay, because we embed those certifications into the Masters of Science in Cybersecurity, so we can meet those students where they're at. Now, if you happen to have an associate's in computer science or IT, cybersecurity, or a bachelor's, that's great, because then in the bachelor's and master's program, you're going to have the ability to waive courses. And I'm going to get into that in a few minutes. So you will actually be able to finish quicker for a lower cost, fewer courses, and actually graduate sooner. We also have a Master's of Science in Computer Science. Now, this does require that you have a bachelor's in a computer, a science, or IT-related field. But what makes this computer science master's different than others that are out there, this has a focus on cybersecurity. So the foundations are in blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, and robotics. So again, blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, and robotics, those are all the foundations of this Master's of Science in Computer Science. So if any of those particular areas really, really intrigue you and interest you, the Master's of Science in Computer Science might be the way to go. Graduate certificate programs. Maybe you don't want to earn a bachelor's. Maybe you don't want to earn a master's. Maybe you just want to earn a graduate certificate, right? So we have graduate certificate programs in the following areas: information security professional, security analyst, enterprise security analyst, digital forensics, incident management and business continuity, executive leadership and information assurance. These are all areas like specializations that maybe you just want to earn a graduate certificate in this particular area. And what it does is it actually demonstrates specialization in skill sets or competencies. Many individuals that enter into these programs, they're looking to get into management. Maybe they don't want to take the time, or they don't have the time to go through a full master's program. So they just want to earn a graduate certificate. And then the last program that we have, maybe you just want to take a course. Maybe you just want to earn an additional certification. So maybe you have your CEH and your CND certification, and you thought, adding a third certification, maybe in computer hacking, forensic investigation, maybe that CHFI, maybe that's going to help my marketability or my employability or my ability to get promoted. So if you're just looking to earn an individual certification, either recertifying in a certification you already have to get a more current certification, or an additional certification, the non-degree certifications can also help and provide you that. So I had mentioned earlier that at EC Council University, we meet every student where they're at in their journey. So again, whether you're looking to take an individual course, whether you're looking to earn an additional certification, a graduate certificate, complete a bachelor's, and earn a master's in one of these areas, we can meet you where you're at, lay out a plan, and help you see if that's the right opportunity for you. Some of our requirements for our graduation requirements, obviously, you have to have a bachelor's degree, cumulative GPA 3.0 or better, grade of B- or higher. What's important to note here in both the bachelor's and the master's is, while we will transfer credits in and we will waive courses, we do have a requirement that 67% of the coursework in the program must be completed through EC Council. And again, if you're looking into master's program, we're going to look at your previous credits, we're going to look at your certifications, and we're going to lay out a plan for you and show you what will transfer in, what courses you can waive, what courses you don't need to take, and that plan will show you what you need to do to complete that degree, and then we'll also show you exactly what that equates to from a cost perspective. And then same thing on the bachelor's degree. While we require 60 credit hours to get in, or an associate or an equivalency of 60 credit hours, we'll actually allow up to 90 hours to transfer in. So maybe you have an associate's degree and you have additional college credit beyond that. We're going to take a look at that. And the nice thing at the bachelor's degree, right, we only require a cumulative GPA of 2.0. There are some institutions that are out there that at the bachelor's level, they require a GPA of 3.0 or better. So we require 2.0 or better, 60 hours, but will allow up to 90 hours to transfer in. And then in a similar fashion, 67% of the course must be completed with ECCU. So let's get into the whole transferability. So let's say you have some certifications, and I put up here the EC Council certifications, but let me emphasize, if you have cybersecurity certifications from an alternative or another accrediting provider, we will still allow you to transfer those in. It does not have to be from EC Council. So if you have any of these certifications from EC Council, CEH, CND, CHFI, CPET, all of these you have opportunities to transfer in and waive courses at the bachelor's and the master's level. So let me repeat that, the bachelor's and the master's level. If you have these certifications from another accrediting body, part of the evaluation process, we'll see when you earned those certifications, and we'll confirm, is that an accrediting provider? And if it is, we'll still allow you to transfer and waive those in. So if you were to just try to line these up and you're asking yourself, well, I earned, I've got the CEH and I earned it from EC Council. What would the course be that I can waive out of? Well, with the CEH, you can actually waive out of a course at either the bachelor's or the master's level. So if you come to EC Council and you already have a bachelor's, but you're looking to get a master's degree and you have that CEH, you can waive out of our ECCU 501 class, or 501 course. If you are looking to get into the bachelor's program and you have that CEH, you can waive out of our CIS 404. So you have the ability to waive out of courses at the bachelor's or the master's level with these three courses, CH, CHFI, CND. And what we find is that these are probably the most common certifications that individuals in the industry come to us with. Then at the undergraduate level, you have the ability to transfer in CSA and CTIA. And then at the master's level, you'll see you actually have 6 other areas that you can transfer certifications into. So if you have certifications in any of these areas, it's absolutely beneficial to explore what courses you could waive and what does that degree plan look like for you if you wanted to pursue either a bachelor's or a master's program. And again, our mission is to try and position you that you can maximize what you're transferring in so you can actually waive out of coursework, pay less because those are fewer courses that you have to take, and graduate sooner. If you're a community college student or you're a student that you went to a technical college or a 2-year institution, I'm very, very proud of EC Council University. We just recently launched what we call our Community College Connect Initiative. And it's actually designed specifically for students that are coming from a community or a technical college or a 2-year institution. If these students have earned an associate's degree or 60 transferable hours, and they want a career in cybersecurity or they want to advance their career, they need to earn a bachelor's, we're actually providing a 30% tuition scholarship. That's 30% off of their tuition to complete the bachelor's degree in cybersecurity, okay? And again, it's our way of recognizing the previous college work that individuals have done. And how does that convert? Well, again, that's a 30% tuition scholarship. We believe it's supporting students and supporting those two-year institutions in their mission and what they've tried to do and what they've tried to accomplish. And in the bachelor's, if you come with no certifications, you actually walk out with 5 actual certifications. And I have to point this out. One of the differentiators between EC Council University and other institutions, you might take a course that prepares you for a certification, but when you're done with that course, you have to figure out where to take that test. You have to pay for that certification exam. And in many cases, that certification exam actually can cost anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 US. All of our certifications and the cost of those vouchers to take the certifications are built into the programs and the courses. So even if you were taking an individual course, let's say you didn't want to enter into one of the bachelor's programs, but you wanted to take an individual course and get a certification in CHFI. That cost of that course, the cost of that certification exam voucher is built into that. And we cover the cost up to 2 attempts to pass that. So that's very important to keep in mind, because we see a lot of students that come to us that say, I took a course somewhere else. I thought it was going to prepare me for the exam. The content of the course was not aligned with the exam, where we build these courses to be consistent specifically with those certification exams. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to leave some time for some questions. You actually have the ability to submit your questions via the chat. I will do my best to get to as many questions as I possibly can, but hopefully we'll get through all of them. If I can't get through all of them, I am going to leave you with some contact information on where you can get some questions answered, where you can get some more information, etc. Let's see, your first question that has come up. Okay, can we get a bachelor's or a master's degree from EC Council? No. EC Council University is actually the academic extension of EC Council. So we're part of the same organization, and EC Council University, I'm going to go back to the video and when we introduced EC Council University at the beginning of the webinar. EC Council University was actually founded to support individuals earning certifications from EC Council. So EC Council University is actually the academic extension of EC Council. So if somebody is taking certifications through EC Council and they want a degree, EC Council University is that academic extension of EC Council. Is there any portal for job for students at EC Council University so as to easily have funds to pay for their fees? I'm not aware of any portals. However, I want to make 2 points. Number one, we have, and I had mentioned earlier, when somebody asks, well, what does the program cost? It's going to differ, and it's going to vary by student. And the reason being, I'm going to encourage you to go online and look at our website. Look at all the scholarships that we provide, okay? We provide an extensive number of scholarships, and we work very diligently with students to say, do you qualify for this scholarship? Does this scholarship apply? And we try to figure out the right and the appropriate scholarships to apply to each student. Secondly, if you are an international student, we do have regional scholarships based on your country of origin. And it can be a little complicated, and I don't want to go through every country, but there are scholarships that can range from 10% to 20% scholarship based on country of origin. So that's the way we try to work with our students from a financial ability. Obviously, I encourage people to go online. There are a lot of scholarships that are offered internationally through government agencies, etc. We do have some partners that we work with internationally who do assist with funding. And again, as you're going through the admissions process, if you happen to reside within one of those countries we partner with, we very well could point you in the direction of that. My colleague has completed only a diploma. He is looking to upgrade his graduate. Well, again, especially when it comes to international credits and transcripts, because we are a US-based university, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at that diploma. We're going to look at what those credits are, and we're going to convert those diploma credits into US credits and see where they have. So if you have a question, does this transfer? Can I waive this? I really don't have the answer. And I tell students, it's like buying a new car, right? When you go in to buy a new car and you ask, what does it cost? Right? That car dealership is going to ask you, are you trading in a vehicle? What is that vehicle worth? Are you putting money down? How are you? There's half a dozen variables that can impact the cost of the program, but in a similar fashion, what transfers in what program you qualify for is going to depend upon that evaluation and where those credits transfer in. Is there any scholarship opportunity now? Yes. I'm going to make another blanket statement regarding scholarships. We have ongoing scholarships that we offer all the time. Those are posted on our website. We have regional international scholarships that we offer all the time. And now we have the community college and the technical scholarship that we're offering all the time. So all of these that we're offering are available. Go look online. I can't tell you what you qualify for, what you don't qualify for, but I would encourage you, first make sure that EC Council University has the right program that you're looking for. Make sure that that program is helping you accomplish what you want to accomplish in your career. And then third, once you know what that pathway is, then we can take a look and see what scholarships appropriately apply. Should I have certified, or as long as I have studied them at EC Council with 2.0 and above? I'm not sure I understand that question. But if the question is that you have taken certifications with EC Council, again, we're going to look at those certifications and see if they can transfer in. Okay, so the question is, what is the MTech fee in cybersecurity? So I will tell you, in addition to tuition, we do have a technology fee that is $50 per term. And then if you're taking a certification course that incorporates that iLab or that particular course, there's a $50 iLab fee. So there's a $50 technology fee per term, okay, whether you're taking one course, 3 courses, and then if you're taking a certification course for an iLab if you're taking a course for a specific certification that requires that iLab, there's a $50 fee that is associated with that. Can any of the degrees, can they be taken offline somehow? Not really. And let me say this, and let me clarify. While the programs and the courses are offered online, you are not required to be online at a specific day, at a specific time. All of your courses, all of your lectures from your faculty are video recorded. So you can view those at your leisure. The nice thing about our program, we have a lot of working adults in our program. Some working adults, they want to do schoolwork 2 hours a day, every day. Other working adults say, I don't have time to do that Monday through Friday. I'm going to do my work all day Saturday and Sunday. You have the flexibility to do your coursework, to do your studies when you want, when it's convenient for you. So while these are not offered offline, okay, they're offered in a 10-week module. And the other component here is, I'm going to go back to what I said, one of the reasons employers like this structure, they know that students aren't going to be rushed through in 2 weeks. They know they're not going to be rushed through to take a certification and come out with minimal skill sets or competencies. They know that the students during that 10 weeks, they're taking their time. They're gaining the knowledge. They're gaining those critical skills, those critical thinking skills, those problem solving skills. They're working in the iLab environment. They don't want us to shortchange any of that because they feel it will dilute the quality of the experience and the quality of the education for the student. So if your concern to the person that asked that question is, well, I can't be online at a specific day at a specific time, that's okay. We do not require you to do that. Okay, the next one is, can I apply for the master's program even though I don't meet the GPA requirement? I have 10 plus years in the field. What I would encourage you to do is to speak with an academic advisor. That's not my area of specialty. There might be some ways of taking some courses that can actually help you get that GPA up and see where that gap is. Sometimes we see students that simply taking 1 or 2 courses gets them to that minimum GPA level that helps them meet those requirements. So again, part of the process is going through an evaluation in an academic advising perspective, and our academic advisors can help you provide that. So with that being said, we are coming up on time, and I really want to be respectful of all of your time. First of all, I want to thank you very, very much for joining us today. And I want to congratulate you, because sometimes taking that first step and exploring that next step in a career or in a learning pathway can be a little intimidating, and it could be a little confusing. Our goal here really is to help you explore and identify where you want to go in your career, and if that next step is a learning pathway. And if it is, to see if EC Council University is the right pathway for you. So for some of you, it very well might be. For some of you, it very well might not be, and that's okay. But that's our goal, is to be able to help you. And part of that exploration process, and I call that, it's an exploration process, looking at what you're bringing to the table. Certifications, prior college, 2-year diplomas, 2-year previous college work, and looking and seeing what can transfer in. Then determining what's the shortest pathway to completion, what's the most cost-effective way, what scholarships do you qualify for, and getting that full plan in your hand so that you can really, really make an educated decision and one that's right for you. I'm putting up here some information. Again, thank you. We now are enrolling for our July term. If you want some more information, I would encourage you to go and view our website at www.eccu.edu. You can absolutely request more information there. And by doing that on the website, you will immediately be connected to one of our enrollment advisors that can start to have this discussion with you and start to help ask you the right questions, help you explore, kind of help you determine what you're bringing to the table. They're the experts that can help you. Or if you'd rather, speak to somebody, we have a US number. I put that number up there. It's 505-341-3228. That's 505-341-3228. So that number is up there for you as well. In either case, thank you for joining us. Congratulations. You're embarking on probably one of the most secure industries and career fields that you could select and choose, and it's one of the most exciting. And just remember, all of us here at EC Council University are here to help you and help make sure that you're on the right pathway to your career, achieving your career goals. So thank you. Have a wonderful week, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.